Kahalaimla, Alhainaw Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Mashiach, Wamalaki, Bahashim, Harwapakak, Warash, Barakathum, the Water Bible, Baba, Kwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching a likewise doctrine and say you shalom. Today we're gonna get into a video where his ICE went up into a building in Chicago, just basically harassing people. What did we tell y'all that these Edomites was gonna do? Did we tell y'all that they was gonna use the military to pick a fight with y'all and then blame you for it? ICE ain't nothing but a private military anyway, because they don't follow rules. These ain't nothing but animals with badges. And you could tell by their lack of professionalism. So yeah, I see why the scriptures read like they read about how the Lord is going to put a foot of Esau's ass, because they're going all out their way to start mess with Israelites while blatantly, Salakia, ignoring the elephant in the room. White domestic terrorism, white pedophilia. On a large scale, on a global scale. Yeah, they ignoring it on purpose because of their perpetual hate for us. Esau's jealousy, his envy, his hatred is going to destroy him. As if America isn't already learning this lesson already, that racism is expensive. But see, this what makes him unfit to rule, because this man cannot see past color, number one. Number two, he's a base man. He's too emotional to rule. He lives in his feelings. That's why all this is being carried out. 2,000-year-old jealousy. And this little punk still ain't got over the fact that the Lord has rejected him. That's why the scriptures are written like they are written as far as Esau's judgment, because now we're in the time, we always been in the time, but now we're at the end of this thing and he's really going all out. So in all actuality, Esau is earning his judgment. That's why the scriptures are already written for him to be exterminated, because he's showing himself as always being the problem of the earth. How do you explain the United States going from the top tier to the divided states of embarrassment, to from a feared president worldwide to a disaster in chief? The Lord said he's going to bring this place down spiritually, and then he's going to destroy it physically because of you Edomites, because of your animalistic behavior. Like I said, you are humanish. The Lord marked you for a reason. Yeah, you can walk on two legs and you can form complete sentences. And you use that ability to lie your ass off. And it's one thing that separates you from the rest of the human families of the earth, and that is empathy. That disqualifies you from being human. The Lord said he was going to send a nation against us who are not a people. Now, that was initially toward the 2/3, but you could easily apply it to Esau. Look at his animalistic history and behavior. These are emotional men and animals with badges. Let's get it. Of course, I want to get the copyright. All right, let's get the video. And I want y'all to look at the title of this video. The name of this video is F Them Kids. ICE agents drag children out of bed, ransack Chicago building. See, animals with badges. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's get it.
Getting new reports about a chilling and downright shocking escalation of ICE tactics against the residents of Chicago. In the middle of the night, hundreds of armed federal agents and police, backed up by riot trucks, smoke grenades, and helicopters, breached fences and busted doors in an immigration raid on an entire apartment building on the city's south side. They pulled dozens of residents from their homes and zip ties, including children, some of them without any clothes. They then held some.
See, they enjoy this. That's why their judgment is going to be so severe for doing all this unnecessary wickedness to Israelites. This is why Esau's punishment is so severe, and ain't nobody going to feel sorry for his ass.
Outside for hours and dragged the others into rented vans.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face.
Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
They zip tied the kids together. ICE put out a statement saying they were pursuing Trinidad gang members, but
see, that's a pretty broad brush stroke of a paintbrush. You just group everybody together and call them gang members just because of their nationality. Okay, well, the same can be said about you, Esau. You are the wicked, all of you. The same can be said. Because guess what? I'm starting not to trust Edomites like I don't trust the police. Yeah, it's good Edomites out there, but guess what? I'm not about to take the time to figure out who's good and who's not. So we're just going to lump all y'all in together. All of y'all are Edomites and all of y'all going to get the same punishment because guess what? The Lord judges nations, not individuals. Just like it was wicked Israelites and it was righteous Israelites. We still got judged as a nation. So guess what, Edomites? Y'all about to get judged as a nation. Especially these weak-ass emotional animals with badges.
U.S. citizens living in the building say they were detained too. The cops told them that if they had any unrelated warrants, they wouldn't be going back home. 37 people were ultimately arrested after agents separated children from their parents on the street. And if you're looking at this and asking yourself, how is this legal? That is the right question to ask. And it has kind of an answer. And to understand it, you have to go back to Los Angeles this summer, where federal immigration agents started pushing the envelope on orders from the White House. They raided Home Depot parking lots and Walmart lots, and they grabbed people they saw.
See? Why are they not showing this aggression toward the pedophiles? Why are they not showing this aggression toward the mass shooters / white domestic terrorists? Because Esau's a bitch. He's an emotional dude. Now, this is the thing right here. This is the point I was getting back to. Yeah, we're gonna lump all y'all in just like y'all lump us up as all being problems. No, it's y'all because guess what? This is why I don't trust the police. There's good cops and there's bad cops. I'm not about to go through and try to figure out who's who. Because guess what? The good cops have seen or heard or done something they should have reported that they didn't do. They didn't report it. So guess what? That's why we lump all you cops in together as just wicked. Nobody speaks up. These people took an oath to defend the public, but look at what they're doing to the public. I'm talking about police officers. I ain't talking about these ICE animals with badges. So guess what? Even though there are good Edomites out there, ain't nobody standing up for the wickedness. So guess what? All you Edomites gonna be judged as a nation. How the Lord do it? He gonna punish the good with the bad. So if you a good Edomite, quote unquote, I don't know what to tell you, because guess what? The wickedness of your nation gonna get you into captivity as well if you survive this nuclear lake of fire.
Near one Home Depot, masked agents
You see? What part of protocol is this? That's why he gonna get his ass beat in the kingdom every day, all day.
with batons grabbed Narcisco Barranco, who has lived in the U.S. for more than 30 years and has 3 sons serving the Marine Corps. Agents beat Barranco on the ground, dislocating his shoulder before detaining him. In Van Nuys, agents raided a car wash, remembering this, sending patrons and workers scrambling before the 79-year-old.
And these are not official officers, man. They probably bought this shit on eBay. Animals with badges. There's nothing human about this, about what these animals are doing. That's why they're called base men. The bottom of the barrel, as far as two-legged families. These are animals.
Owner, who is a U.S. citizen named Rafi, tried to ask them what they were doing.
That is when Rafi was taken down by agents and eventually handcuffed. Rafi says he was injured in the process.
And they sit on me. This is my elbow since a week ago.
Damn.
And this is my arm.
Rafi says he and 5 others at his car wash were taken to a federal detention center downtown. We're still working to learn more about why they were detained.
And that man is not alone.
Look how you got my hand twisted as I'm American, bro. Yo, these guys are literally based off of skin color. My homie was born here just because of the way he looks.
Agents kept stopping people they suspected of being undocumented immigrants for no reason other than.
This ain't nothing but the modern KKK. You notice how they got their faces covered, which is a mark of a coward. And they always roll in groups of cowards. They never, when they by themselves, they just timid as hell. They got to outman you and outgun you. That's when the animals surface.
They weren't obviously white, like Brian Gavidia, the man you saw there, the 29-year-old American. He wasn't arrested, but he says agents went through his phone for 20 minutes and kept his real ID card. Now, these are obvious violations of people's core constitutional civil rights, their right to equal protection and the freedom from unlawful searches and seizures. And victims filed a class action lawsuit. And after an entire bench trial, a federal judge sided with those victims and ended the ICE sweeps. And in her ruling, she wrote, "It is illegal to conduct roving patrols which identify people based upon race alone, aggressively question them, and then detain them without a warrant, without their consent, and without reasonable suspicion that they are with status." Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. This judge stated this, right? So why aren't they putting these ICE animals in jail who violate constitutional rights? I'm going to tell you why. Because it's the right thing to do. It's not in Esau to be a righteous judge. That's why he hesitates when it's time to punish his own. But he'll go above and beyond and lie on the righteous just to get them under the scrutiny of the law, quote unquote.
An appeals court upheld her injunction against ICE. You have to stop doing this. And so the Trump administration took the issue to the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, last month, the court's 6-3 conservative majority voted to just let Trump and ICE continue for now, as the case works its way up, to use racial profiling in their immigration raids.
See, we told y'all these people were not meant to be judges. Unrighteous dealings. They know it's wrong, but they still gonna allow them to do it. So why are you even on that bench, judge, if you are not enforcing what's right? You just as wicked as these ICE animals with badges. You just as wicked as the disaster in chief. There's no difference because these all are wicked Edomites. The ICE animals, the judges that allow this bullshit, and the disaster in chief. Now you see why we call it the divided states of embarrassment.
The lower court's decision, saying, go ahead. Now, they gave no reasoning or explanation for their decision, silent, except Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote a short concurring opinion.
Edomite. These are not judges. These are Edomites with robes on. Go back to Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. That means he took down our face because we are the next righteous rulers, Yahweh Ratazah. And they want to be us so bad. I don't understand how you want to be something that you hate. That's a twisted individual mind state in itself. That lets you know how off these wicked ass Edomites are.
Opinion saying there's absolutely no problem whatsoever with racially motivated stops by law enforcement. Quote, if the officers learn the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawfully in the U.S., they promptly let the individual go.
What about even having suspicion to pull him over in the first place? See, his emotions got him pulling people over. And emotions and law don't mix. That's why Esau's rulership is destined to fail, because he got too much emotion in his rulership. Unfit to rule. You going back to the cage, baby.
Welcome to the era of what critics call the Kavanaugh stop. Carte blanche for ICE to continue violent, warrantless raids and stops all over the country to undocumented immigrants, lawful residents, and American citizens alike. Like Leonardo Garcia Venegas, you see him there, being cuffed roughly by ICE agents on a construction site where he was working. Vargas showed the agents his real ID as proof of citizenship, and they told him he was lying. And it took hours to get him out of custody.
See, unreasonable animals. So what part of the human family these people are not human? That's why they're going to be exterminated, because the Lord only put Esau in rulership because we messed up, and the Lord punished us by putting Esau's over us. But see, Esau's rulership is coming to an end, and the true rulers are coming back in power, the Israelites. So, and our punishment is going to be over. So if that's the case, the wickedness will no longer be needed, because our punishment will be over. So if wickedness is no longer needed, guess what? You will be rounded up and exterminated. You about to be rounded up, I would say, and deported from the planet. Since you're so crazy about deportation, since you're so crazy about locking people up, since you're so crazy about innocent blood spilling, the Lord is finna do the same to you double, baby. And ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you, not even your woman. She hates you too.
So not exactly expeditious. And then get this, 2 weeks later, ICE arrested him again at another work site. He's now suing the government. The consequence of all this is what we're seeing now in the dead of night in Chicago. Dozens of federal agents raiding an entire apartment building with kids in it just to see what they can find.
See, that right there is a violation of the Second Amendment. I mean, the Fourth Amendment. Unlawful. Let me see. The Fourth Amendment is protection from unlawful searches and seizures. These people are in violation of the Constitution. They should be in jail. But what they do, instead, they go around trying to pick fights with righteous, law-abiding citizens, and purposely ignoring the pedophile issue, the mass shooting issue amongst their own people. You know why? Because this is considered normal to Esau. That's part of his behavioral spectrum, violence. So that's why he's allowing mass shooters to slip through the cracks, because he considers that normal. Edomites have an insatiable bloodlust. That's why if the Lord wasn't coming back, he'll kill everything and everybody, including his own people. We told y'all the Lord don't make mistakes. Esau is created to be the perfect fuck up. That's why he will not be missed when he's exterminated.
The most egregious abuse of our basic rights as Americans I've seen in a long time, maybe my lifetime. And it comes 2 weeks after Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem posted a hype video of another violent ICE raid with helicopters and grenades, this time on a house in the Chicago suburbs. And guess what? 2 U.S. citizens were mistakenly arrested. You know, there's a reason the American founders put the right to be free from unlawful searches and seizures in the Bill of Rights from the start. Masked secret police profiling people and now targeting entire apartment buildings, making everyone prove they're not guilty of something, is the province of tyrants. It is the opposite of American. And I don't think Americans...
No, it's America. That's why it's going to be destroyed. It's always been America. You people need to stop hiding behind this big lie. Like America's the best country in the world. It's the greatest country in the world. It's the richest country in the world. All of those are lies. How can you be the richest country in the world when you are about to surpass $240 trillion in debt? How are you the richest country when you can't stop giving your money to a foreign nation, yet you can't even pay your government employees? How is this the greatest country when other nations frown upon this place? Y'all are victims of your own lies that you tell yourself. That's why you have a disconnect from reality, because you constantly feeding yourself lies about the divided states of embarrassment. And until you face reality, you'll never fix this. Edomites don't deal with reality. That's why this country and them are going to be destroyed.
will stand for it, nor should they.
Look how long these people been doing this and they still getting away with it. Esau has no intention of dealing justly. That's why it's going to be destroyed. He has no intention of getting his country out of debt. That's why they ran it up like they did, because they had no intention of paying it back. They have no intention of doing right by the citizens. That's why it's going to come a point in time, people going to start busting that ICE on sight, because they're not going to take a chance of letting these animals with badges get close to their loved ones. It's coming. Let's get some scriptures. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Esau, just a damn fool. I mean, what have we always said about power, though? Eventually, power shows who it's not for. Esau is definitely not worthy of power. Look at what he does with it. He destroys everything and everybody. He goes above and beyond to destroy everything and everybody. Power's not meant for Esau. Captivity is. That's his sole purpose. This man was created for 3 reasons. Punish us, destroy his own kingdom, and build ours for free. After that, he's out of here. So how are you superior? I guess the Lord finna get rid of superior race then. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 10. The soul of the wicked desire of evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. Go to Habakkuk. The only 2-legged being on the planet that's just messed up mentally, spiritually. That's why the Lord marked you with pale skin, so the other nations to know to watch your ass. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. He's born off, born wicked. But see, they label the righteous as being terrorists, gang members, rapists, all this shit. But then when they catch one of their own Edomites dead to rights, murdering the innocent, they got to have some kind of excuse. Well, what was he watching? What was he listening to? It must be some type of mental illness. No, none of those things. He was just born wicked. Y'all need to accept that some of these Edomites out here are born wicked. Children too, 22-year-old mass shooters. And they go after they first kill, like they first piece of ass. They put that above, their first kill is put above losing their virginity. They got to kill. That's why a lot of wicked Edomites as children torture animals. Or worse, bestiality, yeah. But see, y'all don't want to talk about those things. You want to talk about the lies that's been spread about the Israelites. That's why you're going to be destroyed, because you don't deal with reality. So how long you think this is going to be sustainable just to keep lying on the righteous and protecting the wicked? How long? This is not sustainable. So yeah, eventually this place going up in smoke. And for you black MAGAs and you Christians, you better stay out the way and let the Lord work before you catch some of them heavily flops trying to protect your enemies that you love so much. Stay out the way and let this place burn. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Always kicking in somebody's door for no reason. Always in somebody else's country, trying to see what he can steal and who he has to murder to do it. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death cannot be satisfied. That's what makes him unfit to rule. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Verse 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity. Woe means destruction. This is how the United States was created. Through violence, death, destruction, theft. But this is the greatest country. How? When it was born out of sin. Go to Sirach, chapter 12. Verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Chapter 11, verse 31, for he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will he lay blame upon thee. Lying on Israelites, lying on the righteous, but protecting the wicked. Yeah, this is a great country. Chapter 12, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Go to Isaiah. Chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. Stop expecting the wicked to be righteous judges. These are just Edomites in black robes when you go in these courtrooms. So don't expect justice. Expect this man to act on his hatred towards you. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Let's keep rolling. James, chapter 2, verse 16, 13, Slaki. For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Told you. Esau finna get, y'all thought the Lord was pissed off at us. When you look at what he allowed Esau to do to us, no. Wait until the Lord pulls up and round y'all asses up. Ain't nobody gonna be ready for what the Lord about to do to y'all. And you deserve it. All of it. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Stop expecting the wicked to be righteous, because the leopard can't change his skin. And the Ethiopian, his spots, and the Ethiopian can't change his skin. Therefore, the wicked cannot do righteousness. Go Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 49. And this is the Lord when he pissed off at us. He telling us what he about to do to us. Verse 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. What did that woman say that ICE agent said? F them kids? Yeah. And then you seen numerous counts of them slamming the elderly on the ground. But you ain't Esau. Okay. Bet. We just gonna sit back and let you prove it. And let the Lord take your ass out. And you still gonna lie like you ain't Esau. It don't matter. Because after 1,000 years, you ain't gonna be around to tell no more lies. Go to Ezekiel 35. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Lord, and destroy this place. And destroy what you are most proud of, the country that you stole. Yeah, he finna knock that pride all the way down. Y'all about to be humbled in a very painful way. Isaiah chapter 59. Now, this is talking about Israelites, but you can easily apply this to Esau. Verse 2. No, verse 3. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue have muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice. See, that's why I said, if this judge said it is wrong, why are these people not in jail for violating constitutional rights of American citizens? And number two, all these Edomites call, I don't hear no Edomites really doing nothing for real, going above and beyond, because it doesn't affect them directly. So, what they say back in the world, your silence is your compliance. So you're going to be judged too, quiet Edomite. None calling for justice, nor any pleaded for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. That's why all these other nations backing off from even dealing with the United States. Because liars are bad for business. Wickedness is bad for business. Racism is bad for business. And this is all the United States has to offer. So the other nations like, we'll wait. You got to get your mind right, bro. We ain't even on that shit you on. It's always Esau, the only bad apple. Well, there's the other nations in trouble too, but not like Esau and Amalek, the tiny tops. Psalm chapter 37, verse 32, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. See? For no reason. But guess what? The Lord got plenty of reason to put foot to your ass, E. And that's exactly what's about to happen to you. He's breaking you down spiritually first. And then he's gonna break you down, finish the job physically. Then you're gonna be out of here. Ain't nobody gonna have to worry about nothing happening to their kids. Ain't nobody gonna have to worry about nobody poisoning the food, the water, giving jabs that kill people. You gotta worry about none of that. You gotta worry about lies, theft, murder, none of that. That's all you bring to the table. That's all you got to offer, baby. So when you out of here, all that's out of here with you. Go to the book of Micah, chapter 2. Verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You heard how they just ran up in an apartment building, zip tying kids for no reason, just because they want to. Guess what? 144,000 gonna do a lot of damage to y'all just because they want to. Verse 3, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil. Lord got a trick, got a cake baked for y'all. And y'all always been in the trick bag. Thank the Lord, y'all always thought the Lord was with y'all. No, he just gave you plenty of elbow room for you to earn your judgment. 414, call Allah Yumla Lahai now Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Let's get this one. Psalms. Go to Psalms chapter 50. Verse 16. But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee? So we talking to Esau, why you fronting when you know you wicked? Verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thou tongue frameth deceit. Thou citizen speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Esau and Jacob, they were brothers. That's all Esau does is slander and lie on his mother's son, who is who? Jacob. Verse 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence, though thou wast thought that I was altogether such as one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. That's pretty much what's got Esau in his feelings, because the Israelites are standing bold on their feet and proclaiming judgment to their enemies, and they don't like it. Oh well. Esau's whole attitude is, how dare you read me my rights? How dare you tell me I'm going into captivity because you are? It's just that simple. See, seeing bold Israelites, it spooks Esau. It makes Esau think he's losing grip. And you are, because it's the Lord's will that you go down. Yeah, they thought the Lord was with them because they didn't get punished. The Lord had you in a trick bag. He wanted you, your pride, through the roof so you can continue to do wickedness so he can be justified to destroy you. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Verse 11, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. It's just like you not whooping a child, now he's spoiled. Now you can't control this animal. That's what Esau is. He hadn't had an ass whooping in over 2,000 years. The Lord finna put them heavily flops on him. And he ain't gonna know how to act. Now let's get Proverbs. Chapter 10, verse 23. It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom. Yeah, they enjoy trying to pick fights and harassing and just being belligerent animals toward Israelites. They enjoy that. It's a sport to a fool to do mischief. Verse 24, the fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. What are the righteous praying for? Esau's destruction, Esau's captivity, Esau's extermination. And the Lord said he's going to do all those things. Let's get it. Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. See? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman. They of the Don shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to mine fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 17, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. Y'all so stupid. And that proves that they're fools, because they actually think they're going to get away with this. Because just like in Psalm chapter 14, verse 1, what it say? The fool has said in his heart, there is no Yahweh. There is none that doeth good. They're all corrupt and done abominable works, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. So he thinks there is no God to punish him. That's why he all gas with the wickedness now. And that's why the Lord gonna come through and punish him. Your judgment is already written, baby. So go ahead and mash the button, like the elder said. Go ahead and drop them nukes. Let's get this thing started. Let's get your captivity off to a spectacular beginning. Book of Obadiah. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, national mascot, they always refer to themselves as the eagle. The Bible does too. That's how one of many ways we know when this Bible is talking about Esau, that eagle, that dirty ass bird that they just love so much. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Verse 9, and thy mighty men, O team, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Verse 21, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Let's finish off in Ezekiel chapter 35. Get ready to close this thing. And we'll start at verse 11. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, that which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are desolate, they are given to us to consume. That's what they think. They think that the Lord just gave them a nation of slaves to do whatever. And he did, temporarily. That time is up now. It's time for them to kiss them flops. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Ooh, JJ, you in trouble. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So y'all earning y'all judgment, baby. And when you get it, don't expect no empathy, because like Captain Kirk said, empathy for the weak, right? So y'all ain't gonna get it no way. Earn your judgment, baby, so you can go into captivity and serve us, so we can beat ass day to night. Go ahead and do it. Playing with your blood, baby. That's why it says all of Edom, because the Lord punishes nations, not individuals. So all y'all finna catch these heavenly flops from y'all fucking with us. Excuse my French. Sorry, I'm pissed off. But that's enough to piss any righteous man off. So yeah, when Edom go in them chains, nobody gonna feel sorry for you. Me personally, I wish that we could just get rid of them entirely. But the Lord said they're gonna do 1,000 years. And that's Yahweh Ratazah. So be it, baby. 1,000 long ass years in that hot sun, you're gonna wish you was dead. Call Layim Lala Hayanaw Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wa Malaki, Bahashem, Harawat, Bakakorash, Barakathum, the water Baba Bawa Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.